Man, you want to stay away from rocks like that. And I guarantee you that that rock is a snake den. Well, we're just heading out into the desert today to find a nice place to camp for a bit. It's going to be a little bit warm. We'll be testing out our air conditioning on the trailer, making sure that's all working good because summer is approaching. Down here in Arizona, southern Arizona, I think it's already here. Oh, for lunch, chicken tenders and baked beans. That'll do.
I didn't do any of it.
Well, you had to heat it up.
Yeah, true that.
Good job, Linda.
Yeah.
I imagine this is going to be dusty underneath. But this cover works out pretty good on this air conditioner. Oh, not bad. Oh, it's all right. Let's get it fired up and see if we got some cold air. Hey, don't you want to be inside with the air conditioning on?
This is air conditioning. Out in the open air.
Actually, it's not bad out right now because it's overcast. So it's not bright sun. It's not too bad. It's about 80 degrees. Okay, this is a Walmart 5,000 BTU household type air conditioner. And I've got it set on high cool right now. So now you see I got 330, 340 watts of solar coming in on this cloudy day. The AC is using 450, 460 watts. And that would be a combination of the solar and the battery power of this Opez Mega 2 Pro. What, you going inside?
Yes.
Why?
I'm wussing out. I'm going for the cool air.
Enjoy it. If you haven't seen this yet, in one of my other videos, this is the easiest way to pound steaks in rocky soil. Imagine pounding that a regular steak in using a rock for a hammer. This beats that, don't you think? Also, with the sun beating down on the far side of the clam shelter here, of course we've got the side panels off to let in cool air. But the other thing we did was we tied the lower sections of the sunny side panels out. You need those panels for shade, but even at that they reflect a lot of heat in. So we tie the lower part out to let air go through. And that helps a lot. Well, if you watch our videos, you know that we come down to the Sonoran Desert so much to camp. We just love it down here. It's such a neat place to camp that most of the camping spots already have people, there camping. Well, when the temperatures hit about 85 degrees and then they start touching on 90, everybody scatters. They all head for northern Arizona. If you can stand the heat, 90 degrees of heat, you can come down here. Like today, for example, we drove all over, didn't see even one other camper. So if you want to camp in southern Arizona, kind of choose the later part or the latter part of the season. With air conditioning, though, we're fine. So during the daytime, we kind of lay low, sit in the shade, go inside where the AC is on. But that leaves the beautiful mornings until about 11 o'clock and incredibly beautiful evenings to be outside and enjoy it, when it cools off. Yeah, it's not bad. Now, I have a lower temperature tolerance than Linda does. I kind of start to wilt at about 85, 90 degrees. She's good up to about 100, not me. Yeah. This being a cloudy day is making this very, very tolerable, very nice actually. Got the whole desert to ourselves. I just went on an overnight motorcycle camping trip with my friend down here, and I commented to him in the evening time. I says, Linda and I do everything together. Once in a while, I'll get out and do an overnight camping trip on my e-bike or my motorcycle, but I'm alone. I told him this is the first time I've gone with a friend to go do something and go camping, because Linda's my best friend. We always do everything together. He told me, he says, yeah, I can tell. I was like a fish out of water. I don't know if you're interested or not, but if you're not, just stick around for the rest of the video, okay? Linda and I met when we were in our early 20s, and I met her in Lahaina, Maui. I was so struck by her beauty. Oh my goodness. And I got her to meet me for a cold drink. We're talking Pepsi Cola here. And maybe go down to the beach and talk a little bit. And we did. I remember we were sitting on a rock looking out over the ocean. And I was telling her, I says, my plan is to fix up a good sailboat and sail the oceans. And she said, I've always wanted to do that. I've thought about that a lot. And I was like, what? Because in the past, whenever I mentioned that to a girlfriend, they just told me I was crazy and they walked away. And here was Linda saying she was up for that. So I knew that we were going to be together a long time. It's been 52 years now. 52 years of fun and adventures and beautiful children and grandchildren. I just found this laying on the ground out here in the middle of nowhere. It must be a raindrop that dried up on the way down, don't you think? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we were driving in here, and even the most popular camping spots that we've known over the years were all empty. Every single one, not a soul in here. We felt like kids in a candy store with a pocket full of money. It was like, where should we camp? We can camp anywhere we want, instead of having to search for a spot that happened to be open. I don't know, we drove in about a half a dozen spots and looked it over and went, nah, this one's not good enough. Let's go check out another one. Yeah, but anyway, the off season, spot on. Got a little more sunshine right now. We'll go see how the AC and the Mega 2 Pro are doing. Yeah, nice and cool in here. Wow. All right, let's see here. I like it that the power button stays lit, so you know where to push to get the screen to come up. Yeah, it's got almost 400 watts of input right now, and the output is 460 watts on the AC. Doing all right. Well, it's midday, it's 90 degrees out, and Linda and I stay outside a lot of the time, and then we'll go inside the trailer where the air conditioning is on, and it's nice and cool in there. But I just wanted to quickly mention two things that we did with this air conditioner to make it more efficient. One of the things I did is I installed a soft start on it. That's a $20 item. You buy them off of Amazon. And that makes it so that every time the air conditioner starts, it doesn't use that big surge of power. It starts really easily. The other thing that we did is we installed a remote thermostat. Instead of using the temperature control on the air conditioner, you just set that one to the coldest it'll go. And then we use a remote thermostat. And what that is a remote thermostat comes in two parts. It comes with the part that plugs into the AC cord, and then the air conditioner plugs into that. And then it has a handheld remote on it. And you could set that remote anywhere in your RV to sense the temperature. The difference is, without that, when the compressor shuts off on the AC, it still keeps running on fan. And an air conditioner running on fan is still sucking in outside air, which is warm because it mixes it, and making the inside warm up faster. Well, with a remote thermostat, like I just mentioned, when the inside temperature reaches a set point where you set it, it shuts off the air conditioner entirely. Just boom, off. And then when it warms up again, of course, boom, it comes back on again. So it saves power that way. I'll put a link to the soft start we used and to the remote thermostat that we used. Well, with 600 watts of solar on the roof, putting out 350 to 500 watts of power, and this Opez Mega 2 Pro power station, I can run the air conditioner all day long. Well, I'm just out walking. I came to this old fire pit, and first thing I did is I looked around. I thought, well, there's no tin cans here, so it's probably pretty old. Then I noticed a tin can lid right dead center of it. So that kind of helps me date this a little bit. And then off to the side is a pile of rocks over here that's a boundary marker. And I don't know for sure, but this kind of tells me that this was a mining claim. So it could be late 1800s, early 1900s. It's always so much fun to go walking in the desert, see what you can find and try to figure it out. And well, most of the time I'm probably wrong, but it sure is fun trying. This looks like a road. It's actually a dry wash. See the tracks in it? Because everybody likes to race through on their four-wheelers, you know, 4x4s, four-wheelers, side-by-sides, and it is fun. So far on my motorcycle, I am really uncomfortable riding in soft stuff like this. I feel so unstable. But my friend JP has been giving me pointers and teaching me how to ride in this stuff. He rides his motorcycle through this stuff, no problem, like he's on asphalt. But it has to do with keeping your speed up and keeping your hands light on the handlebars and letting the handlebars move. I'm a little better than I was. Still nervous though. I've got new tires going on my Yamaha XT250 this week. They just came in and JP and I are going to install them. Then I'm going to get out here and try it again. Because right now it's got basically street tires on it. Or I might crash and the bike could burst into flame. Another campfire ring, small. No sign of tin anywhere around here. So was that a Native American campfire ring? Usually the early miners, cowboys even running cattle, they always left their tin cans behind. There's nothing here though, this one. This is an exploratory dig. And it's, I don't know, 15 feet in diameter, 10 feet deep. Looking to see what was here. If you found something, you'd stake a claim. Using a pick shovel here in the summertime would be brutal. And the only reason I'm out walking around is because it's cloudy. Otherwise, it'd be 95 degrees or better. It's still 90. Linda's the smart one. She's back in the trailer with the air conditioning on, reading a book. Now it's just fun being out here. That would be another boundary marker right there. Here's some wood left over from something. Man, you want to stay away from rocks like that. And I guarantee you that that rock is a snake den. He may not be home right now, but I guarantee you that's what that is. They'd curl up underneath there. He's probably out and about because the sun's not out. It's cloudy. But yeah, bigger rocks you gotta stay away from. See a huge pack rat's den over here. Yeah. Look at that caliche. All the rock embedded in rock. Because this out here is every much as rock as that is right there. Out there is a Native American cemetery. People are still being buried there. It's a nice cemetery. Our camp is somewhere around here. Don't want to know what's down there. About 15 or 20 miles in this direction is Mexico. Oh, I actually made it to the top. Cool. Oh, I've never seen it this empty in all the years we've been coming here.
I know, never. I think we're the only people in this whole area right now.
Here's the drone shot. There's nothing around here.
Except for us two. Well, I did see a guy on an e-bike. But
Did you?
Yeah, but he didn't stop. He just kept going.
I haven't seen anybody out here all day long. I thought we'd go up to the top of this knoll to the left.
Yeah.
Cooled off a little bit. It could even rain. I don't know. I see some rain to the south of us. Yeah, usually even this time of year, which is end of April, this place looks like quartzite still.
Yeah, but they got a heat wave about a month ago and people just...
Yeah, it got real hot.
Yeah.
I was looking at it hit like 107, 105, 107 every day. And our friend that lives down in this area said that this place emptied out. And then what happened was that the weather went back to normal after that, but nobody came back. They all went north, which they are supposed to do, you know, higher elevation. And then we happened to show up and it's pretty cool.
Yeah. It's not bad.
Yeah. It's like, where should we camp?
Yeah, there.
Anyways, you guys, enough about that. We appreciate you coming along on this video and hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah,
It was fun, yeah.
it was fun.
We didn't get too hot.
Yeah, but the secret is we have that little air conditioner that we got from Walmart.
And it works.
Yeah, it works great.
On a power station and some solar.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, that was good. Anyways, you guys, we'll see you.